こんにちは皆さん。私、修二と妻のエイリーンのチャンネルにようこそ。
Aloha! It's our last day at Kanapoli Beach Resort, and they have a lei kukui ceremony that serves as a farewell for guests who are checking out. They say that it's a symbol of anticipated returns. However, taking photos and videos during the ceremony is not allowed. So after the ceremony, we took one final stroll, took photos and captured views from our balcony, as we wanted to keep them in our treasure chest of memories.
A few moments later.
Each year, humpback whales visit the Hawaiian Islands during the winter months, arriving sometime in November and departing in March. So around this time is perfect for catching glimpses of them from the viewpoint. With a reputation for authentic and mouth-watering dishes, Aloha Aina takes pride in serving huli-huli chicken, pork belly, poke, traditional Hawaiian barbecue, and specializing in amazingly juicy smoked meats and other island favorites. As many will tell you, the road to Hana is not about the destination, it's about the journey. So hop in, we are taking you with us on this adventure. The Scenic Road to Hana is an iconic drive that connects Kahului to Hana in East Maui.
And you can follow the main trail with waterfalls views. Don't stop, just keep going past these first views. After about a mile, the trail forks. Follow the left fork to go see the caveman falls first. The waterfall has vines that give it that prehistoric
It takes at least 3 hours to complete the Hana Highway. In our case, we're taking it nice and slow. In fact, we already made reservations to stay in Hana for 2 nights.
The ditches were built in the 1800s.
downloaded the Guide Along app to help us navigate the 64-mile highway that features narrow winding roads and over 50 bridges that's going to take us past gorgeous beaches, rugged coastlines, lush forests, waterfalls, pools, and hiking trails.
Here's a little insider tip. Not every bridge has an amazing waterfall. Sometimes we'll see a bunch of cars pulled over at bridges where there isn't something all that special to see. But the more people stop, the more the following cars stop, thinking, well, there must be something to see here. Here's one of those really tight and narrow hairpin turns. Not the one that turns left, but the one after it. You'll see. We'll see a lot more action like this as we get further along. If you're susceptible to motion sickness, I suggest two things. Take a turn at being the driver, or if you can't do that, you'll want to avoid reading anything while we're moving. I hope that helps. As we approach this next left bend, look over to our left and quickly notice the very tall pine trees. Then after we go around the bend, slow down a little, and also on our left, next to the road, we'll see a small grove of spectacular rainbow eucalyptus trees that are pretty unusual because of their colorful trunks, like someone has gone and painted them. Unfortunately, there isn't really a clear place that we can pull over, and the landowner is very clear with the no trespassing signs. But the good news is, further ahead is the K&I Arboretum, and there we can get out and have an up is the Garden of Eden. Just one of my rules, you will definitely have to wear at least a fig leaf. The gardens have an excellent collection of exotic flowers, trees, and even birds. If we're traveling with children, it might be a good stop as they can feed the ducks there. A claim to fame is that from the gardens, we can see the Keopuka Rock, which was featured in the opening sequence of the original Jurassic Park movie. You remember when the helicopter was flying in? Another popular photo from the Garden of Eden is the upper Puhokomoa Falls. Just so you know, if you're interested in visiting, the Garden of Eden does charge an entrance fee. I'll point out the turn-in.
Eyes in the sky, gazing far into the night. I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby.
The entrance for the Garden of Eden is coming up on our right if we're interested in visiting. The signage is good and we can't miss it.
Into the night, I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe.
Puhokomoa has an upper and lower waterfall. At the next bridge, we're close to the upper falls, which are the smaller ones. Even though we often see cars here, there are private land issues at this location. And as these falls are not easy to see, my advice is to continue on as we have other good choices.
Aunty Sandy's Banana Bread is a family-owned business that opened in 1983 in beautiful Ke'anai, Maui. While driving the Hana Highway, turn left after mile marker 16 onto Ke'anai Road. It's open Mondays to Saturdays from 8:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. or until they're sold out. We were the last customers of the day.
Very nice.
And we definitely got what we came for. The banana bread was still warm when we got it, and it's soft, tender, and absolutely
Which one is
delicious.
better? My cooking or this shop?
The taste is about the same. The only difference is that yours is more crunchy. This is softer. Yours has crunchy bites, which are good. This one is totally soft, but also good.
Has driving the road to Hana been what you expected? I sure hope we're having a good time and you've been enjoying the sights and stops. Just a reminder that we still have 4 of our 5 must-do stops ahead of us. Why don't we take a moment to chat about what to do once we've reached the furthest away point at the pools of Ohio at Kipahulu, which is also the start of the PPY hiking trail. The question is, should we turn around and drive back, or should we keep going straight and drive all the way around the backside of Haleakala? Let me give you the deal. As you heard me say earlier, the major rental companies may actually prohibit their vehicles from driving on Highway 31 around the backside of the volcano. If something happens and you break down or damage the vehicle on the road, you may be responsible for all the costs. The road is very isolated. It can cost thousands of dollars to get a tow truck to come out that way. Now you might be driving your own vehicle, or you may have already confirmed that you can drive that road on your rental agreement, or you understand the risk and accept the responsibility. If you're unsure, you should contact your car rental provider when we get cell service again in Hana. I'm just providing you with this warning because I am not encouraging or endorsing for you to drive this route. If you are unaware of potential risk of violation of your rental agreement, or you're not comfortable with that, then the best thing is just to turn around and drive back the way we came in. Highway 31, or the back road, follows the coastline with some views across the channel to the Big Island. There are some sections that are really quite narrow.
Therefore, honey, no stopping here.
And we still have lots of time to decide what's best for us.
Eyes in the sky, gazing far into the night. I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through for you, for you, for you, for you, for you, won't you let the light shine through?
Pua'aka'a State Wayside is near mile marker 22.5 on Hana Road. You cannot miss this place because it is a real park with restrooms, parking and picnic tables. Just before we reached the parking lot, it started to rain. There, I saw a mongoose running around. Had I known that there are going to be a couple of feral cats around Pua'aka'a State Park, I would have brought some cat food to share with them. They are more likely descendants of cats that were introduced to the Hawaiian Islands by Europeans and have since become wild living.
Gorgeous.
This particular waterfall is very pretty. You can swim in the basin if you choose. It's an easy hop-off, hop-on stop for guided tours. Finally, we arrived at Heavenly Hana Paradise and we were welcomed by Mr. Parsons and his lovely host of cats. You already know by now how much we really love these beautiful feline pumpkins. Checking in was a breeze. He was friendly and provided great recommendations for local activities and restaurants. Heavenly Hana Paradise is incredible. Road to Hana Waterfalls, Charles Lindbergh's grave, and the oceanfront 7 sacred pools are within 20 minutes drive of this Hana studio on Maui. It features a covered terrace with a plush wicker dining area with a lovely view of the backyard and surrounded by fresh ginger gardenia and tropical greenery. We love the extra high ceilings and French doors. Had snacks and water waiting for us.
Very nice.
Little details such as providing toothpaste, body lotion, and various snacks made this day extremely lovely. Everything inside it shows how much the hosts care for their guests. Hana Ranch Restaurant is first on the list of recommended restaurants. As soon as we settled in and freshened up, we headed right for dinner.
このビデオを見てくれてありがとうございます。ぜひ YouTube チャンネルに登録お願いします。また新しい動画が見れるように通知ベルをクリックしておいてください。次のセッションでまたお会いしましょう。
Mahalo for watching. Join us again tomorrow for another great adventure here on this amazing island of Maui.
If you enjoyed watching, please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Also, if you hit that bell button, which is right next to the subscribe button, you'll be notified whenever I post a new video. You can find me on Facebook and Twitter, all of the links down in the description box. Thank you guys so much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you in my next one. Bye!